Death Photography Final, Death, Desert, and Dine. Yatahe. Death and the desert seemingly go hand in hand. The hot temperatures and lack of water make the situation ripe for demise. The following images are from the Dine Navajo reservation, or the Res, as the locals call it. Death here takes many forms, either from nature, time, or humans. There is also a rebirth in the autumn. The following images show the aspects of loss and memory, nature, rebirth, and time. Some images are graphic. Be forewarned. I will be quoting a Dine woman, an elementary school principal knowledgeable in their traditions for the second half of this presentation. There may be a few instances where I may pose a question then answer it. Ahehi. The desert is a place of vast beauty and unforgivable heat. It is home to critters, snakes, birds, dogs, and of course humans. Whether it's nature or humans, death comes calling. Autumn brings beautiful late season blooms. But the desert is just that, a desert. A place that shines with what was, leaving little bits of the past scattered throughout the reservation. But the Dine that live on this land have their own views of death, cultural beliefs, and rituals. Death is very taboo in the Navajo Native American culture. One does not talk, acknowledge, or plan. If one speaks of death, you are wishing an evil way upon that person. If a person talks or plans with death, they are consumed by the evil way, the ghost way, and harms the family. Regarding the current generation, traditional death rituals are a dying culture. Many do not practice these traditions and live in Western culture. If the family chooses, the non-Anglo Dine Church may opt to go the route of funeral home services rather than traditional burials. Within the 4 days, all material possessions from the person is cleaned out and burned. You cannot hold on to any items, so the spirited evil way will keep from you. Traditionally, people used to also set their livestock free or shoot their horses. Mrs. Sanchez remembers when her grandmother passed, they set all the horses free. Traditional Navajo believe that contact with the chindi can cause illness, a ghost sickness, and death. Traditional Navajo practice is to allow death to occur outdoors, to allow the chindi to disperse. If a person dies in a house or hogan, that building is believed to be inhabited by the chindi and is abandoned, or the homes are destroyed, so the spirit does not have a place or items to attach. The Dine do not believe in cremation. One must return to the earth to honor the circular pattern we live in. We have to keep all in a good direction and keep it honest. If we are cremated, our body returns to honor the earth. We have a break in that cycle. Also, no one can keep a cremated person in their home. It is an omen and welcomes the evil way into their homes. It was hard to understand. An owl is a message. If one sees an owl, it is a message one will be very sick, hurt, or die. We do not buy or make any items that represent owls. We believe in the circular patterns of life and everything moves in a positive forward direction. If one is taken in possession of the evil way, One moves backwards and disrupts the circular patterns, not only for them, but for the family. Traditional Dine burial involved 2 men covered in ash, so the spirit of the deceased did not attach to them, to clean and prep the body, and 2 more to dig the grave itself. I was curious if this was a correct description of the process and how it had changed all over time. Traditional with ancestral burials, yes, only very few were allowed to attend the funeral. This was to keep the evil way, ghost way, not to harm the family. Spirits are still connected to our culture. We believe our loved ones visit us in dreams when they pass. Young children are connected to the spirits, so we don't cut their hair until they are at the puberty age. They are still blessed and are connected to the holy ones and spirits of the family before us. We use ash and bitter powder to keep us safe and hidden from the spirits that try to return. The evil way is intense and can affect anyone. The ceremonial prayer is conducted to help the person. The evil way can harm individuals with their happiness, their clarity, cause sickness, and consume the person in sadness or anger. That the family is traditional, the church and funeral honor the family's wishes. Some families still believe in family plots and hosting their own memoriam. Traditionally, a person would be buried within 4 days and only wrapped in a blanket. The families would hold prayer and ceremony for 4 days to honor the person. On the 4th day, all the family members gather in prayer and blessings. They use this day to wash in yucca, be blessed with cedar and ash, so the spirit of the person leaves in a good way. And for those here on earth, they are blessed to keep the evil way away. Emotions are kept to a minimum for fear of the spirit attaching to the mourner or mourners. Dene still believe this. The evil way will enter you if you are weak. The evil way will form roots and cause sickness. They can't bury any personal belongings with the person. Mrs. Sanchez was always told never to cry into the coffin, never touch the person to keep the ghost away from you. Crying at night will attract the spirits. They can find you and consume one in an evil way. During our journey in life, even with the death we find here, there are small things we see that negate it and remind us that we are here living. Life goes on, with some places being a distant memory. We keep our loved ones close. We mourn our losses. Hidden gems bring us smiles. Sometimes we may have company on part of that journey.